Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley.
I'm Mica.
Here's a tip. If you're gonna promise Rick and Morty fans something, even if you're pretending that it's got nothing to do with Rick and Morty, you better have enough of it or there's gonna be hell to pay.
Man, I am so confused. I wonder what we're talking about for this news update.
I wonder. Alright, so in a plot seemingly pulled straight out of a Rick and Morty episode,
Oh my goodness.
thousands of the show's fans are now raging against not some controversial thing that happened in the season 3 finale or some change in the guard that happened behind the scenes. No. They're up in arms about Szechuan sauce from McDonald's.
They wanted that Mulan McNugget sauce, Morty. They wanted it so bad. The fast food chain tried out a disastrous, I can't believe those words came out of my mouth, limited rollout of the now meme-ified dipping sauce over the weekend, resulting in long lines, angry fans, police intervention, sauce scalping on eBay, calls to boycotts to McDonald's. Something probably got set on fire, I don't know, but all of that previous stuff, yeah, that's all real.
Real, it's not jokes. Don't worry, we've got it documented. It's a doozy, but if you're ridiculously confused about how this all came to be a thing, well, first, we have to go back.
The timeline of this fiasco started all the way back in April when it became a plot point in the first episode of season 3. In that episode, titular mad scientist Rick visited a McDonald's in his memory while talking about the company 1998 release of Szechuan dipping sauce in conjunction with Disney's Mulan, which happened.
I loved Mulan.
It was such a good movie. Eddie Murphy did a great job as a dragon.
I don't think I ever had the Szechuan sauce to go with it, though.
Probably not.
Well, that same episode ended with a drunken rant from Rick directed at Morty, claiming that his entire series arc and his one-armed man was all about trying to find that McNugget sauce.
Naturally, McDonald's got a kick out of being featured on a hit comedy series and followed up on the gag by sending a big container of the sauce to co-creator Justin Roiland. They also sent a cheeky letter and claimed they'd obtained it from Dimension C 1998N.
Now, in addition to Roiland, the fast food chain also kicked around some jugs of their sauce to a few lucky fans, some of whom ended up selling them for ridiculous prices on eBay, as much as $15,000.
So far, it's just all pretty good fun, right? Some companies interacting with each other, some social media.
So far, it's like social media done right for the brand and so on. It's a success story to that point. So, to finish capitalizing on the meme, McDonald's recently decided on a super limited release of the famous Szechuan sauce. Last week, they announced it would be available at select locations, which is important, for one day only. Also important, October 7th. That was Saturday. All of that was done in a way that was, well, I don't know, maybe legal gray area, sort of, but more on that in a minute.
That super exciting launch day came around this past weekend. I went, you went.
I did it. Well,
you drove past it.
Drove past and then left.
Yeah, I walked up, saw the line, and then left. And let's just say they jerried the whole thing. There was confusion about which McDonald's locations were actually going to get some of the fabled sauce, with some major cities like Boston only receiving packets at one store.
One for Boston, really?
All of Boston.
Were they worried they were going to chuck them in the harbor? Now, they weren't kidding about these super limited quantities either, because many of the stores that did get the sauce had maybe 20 to 50 packets total. Yeah, sure, that's plenty, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, combine all these factors and you get crazy long lines and crazy angry fans.
Cops, no joke, had to
police
be called at a few locations around the country where things got particularly saucy.
Saucy?
Like one in California where police had to force back a crowd of more than 1,000 chanting, "We want sauce." They only had 70 to hand out, by the way. And apparently, whoa, someone even jumped the counter to get a handful.
I wonder how that went.
These aren't jokes, by the way. These things
happen. Now, another location, Wellington, Florida, had to have a police intervention as well when fans lined up for hours and then learned there was no sauce at that location.
Oh, no. Naturally, fans logged their complaints en masse on Twitter, resulting in the hashtag boycott McDonald's landing on the platform's trending topics.
And that's about where the social media success story takes a left turn.
And a nosedive, just a left turn into that nosedive. And of course, out of those lucky enough to actually get their hands on those sauce packets, some decided to turn into entrepreneurs, resulting in a bunch of sauce scalping on eBay.
Yeah, forget the markup on SNES Classics. This weekend saw some sauce packets moving in the hundreds of dollars. One of the most ridiculous was an already open packet, which is disgusting, that literally was just offering a 0.5 millimeter taste for $60.
Worth it, right?
No, it's not
at all. Some didn't even have to go to eBay to make a little bit of extra money. One video showed fans paying $10 a dip to one very ingenious sauce holder.
You know you can make this stuff yourselves, right? There are recipes all over the internet how to do it. Apparently it's pretty close to the real thing. No long lines, no promotions required, and even if it's not 100%, take the 95% and skip the lines and the anger and the stress.
You just take some garlic, some balsamic vinegar, some soy sauce, some plum sake, some extra plum sake if you want to drink it, sriracha, brown sugar, red pepper flakes, and ginger. There you go. I saved you a line.
Wait, but the thing is, this whole thing is actually a McDonald's thing. It technically, legally has nothing to do with Rick and Morty. So how did the show's creators feel about McDonald's trying to capitalize on their popularity? I mean, McDonald's never mentions the show by name in any of their tweets about it. Even the sauce packets are designed to look like Rick and Morty-ish without including the actual characters. Like, you know that bargain cereal that comes in the bags?
Yes.
And they'd be like, this is Cheerios. It was like that.
Well, these feelings are definitely mixed. Series co-creator Dan Harmon told Polygon last week, I think it's hysterical. The version of Mr. Poopy Butthole with the slightly shorter hat and McDonald's vague allusions to, hey, you seem like someone who likes traveling the galaxy kind of through a portal sort of thing. Maybe you should have some Szechuan sauce.
He went on to say, it's really funny because if you're going to get robbed by McDonald's. Look at that art. Look at that font. Look, I'm not being sarcastic when I talk about this. If anyone from McDonald's is reading this, I don't see anything wrong with what they're doing, and clearly, neither does their legal department.
Of course, that was before this weekend's cop-filled fiasco. Since then, the tone has soured just a smidgen. Co-creator Justin Roiland tweeted this weekend, FYI, we had nothing to do with this McDonald's stuff. Not happy with how this was handled. Please be cool to the employees, it's not their fault.
You mean yelling at someone who's making minimum wage and probably having the worst day ever doesn't magically make more of this stupid sauce materialize? Crazy.
What? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Look, obviously this is a bummer for the people involved with the show, who had literally nothing to do with McDonald's attempt to capitalize on the meme, and now their fans are angry.
I mean, it's also admittedly a bummer for the people who were excited. Like, when something like that is happening, it feels like a cultural event, and you're a fan of the show, you want to get in on it, right? You want to participate. There's a really cool energy to doing that. But yelling and jumping over the counter at these restaurants sort of makes it way less fun.
I want Szechuan sauce. Where's my Szechuan sauce? I take a Rick. What below the dum-dum?
And it's also pretty clear that McDonald's didn't understand the fan base they were toying with and trying to get all enthusiastic with, because Rick and Morty, it's not just a niche show that geeks happen to love anymore. It's gotten enormous this season. In fact, it's now the #1 most watched comedy in the US as of season 3. It set ratings records for Adult Swim. You probably should have made more packets.
Yeah, all of those complaints have definitely reached the golden arches because McDonald's got on Twitter to apologize this weekend, still dropping thinly veiled references to the show they won't name.
What is it, like Voldemort?
Pretty much. And they tweeted, the best fans in the multiverse showed us what they got today. We hear you and we're sorry not everyone could get some super limited Szechuan.
Once things died down a little bit more, they did announce they would do some things to make it right. McDonald's wrote in another tweet Sunday night, you spoke, we've listened. Lots more, #Szechuan sauce and locations, details soon. And that's the way the news goes.
They also attached an image which stated, yesterday we were truly humbled by the amazing curiosity, passion, and energy this community showed to welcome back Szechuan sauce, even if just for one day. Thank you a million times over.
Went on to say, between the costumes, the memes, and the cross-state travel, you, the fans, showed us what you got, and our super limited batch, though well-intentioned, clearly wasn't near enough to meet demand. Not cool.
Following that, they announced that they've been working overtime to open up the portals. They're trying so hard here, like, oh my god, and more Szechuan sauce will be coming back to every single location later this winter.
So, there you have it, Rick and Morty fans. You will have a reason to give up on that boycott and try it all over again in a couple of months, right? There'll be so many more. Will anyone care by then? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It seemed like this was kind of a cool thing, but I don't know if anyone actually cares about Szechuan sauce.
I think they just care about the show, which is not gonna get named. It's just they just
What
care.
show?
Exactly. So hopefully next time things are just a little bit less crazy.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. What do you guys think of the Rick and Morty Szechuan sauce fiasco? I'm sorry, just the Szechuan sauce fiasco. Let us know in the comments.
And for future updates on memified McNugget sauce, if that ever happens again, remember to like this video. If you're new around here, subscribe to the Know.
The fast food chain tried out a
Desostrous.
Oh! Oh!
It's the Eddy special.
Oh!
Well, that same episode ended with a drunken rant from Rick directed at Morty, claiming that his entire series arc and his one-armed